Last week, I ended up taking a pretty significant loss on Tesla within our main fund. We still closed the month up $117,000, but on the 27th, which was a Friday, I closed $52,000 in losses. The majority of that, about $51,800 of it, was a 30% loss on my Tesla September $350 calls expiring in 2025. Now, the reason that I ended up closing out that position is because the daily BX trender, which you could see right here in this middle pane, ended up closing red. When the daily BX trender closes red, it is a very strong indication that we are no longer getting short-term buying pressure and that the price might continue to sell off. Now you can see here that if we look at the actual win rate for this strategy over the past 5 years, it's only 43%. So it's not like this is a strong indication that we are going to be right. But what this is a strong indication of is high risk versus reward, meaning that our average win is going to be about 14% and our average loss is going to be about 3%. So whenever I'm taking a position, I'm not necessarily expecting to be right. I'm hoping that when I am right, it's going to pay significantly more than when I am wrong. And this is why proper risk management is so important, because we sold that position, we took the loss, but we saved ourselves today from about a 5% sell-off. And if you think that $52,000 or 30% on that sell-off Friday was crappy, well, I'd probably be about 65% down to 70% down on those calls today, and I'd be down at least another $50,000 to $60,000. And this is why risk management is so important, because what we're not necessarily trying to do is be right all of the time. We're trying to make sure that when we lose, we are capping very quickly the loss that we're going to have. And when we're winning, we're hoping to extend our massive profits to the upside. Now that's short term. The daily BX, that is red, that is not looking good. Let's now look at the bigger time frame and talk about what could happen in the next couple of weeks and months. Now, this weekly setup has about a 67% win rate. So this bigger time frame normally has a much higher chance of actually playing out, still with a stronger risk versus reward, which is what we want to see. Now, this is going to be a weekly chart. So all of these candles represent 1 week. This middle pane here is going to be a weekly BX trender, which is going to show buy sell pressure. And then this bottom pane is going to be the monthly BX trender. If you do want to get access to all the indicators and the exact strategy that we're going over in this video in detail for free, go ahead and check out our 12-course masterclass series down in the description. All of the indicators, the entire strategy, entry, exit requirements are all down there for free. And the only thing that I ask from you guys in return is that you respect the process and you actually take the courses in sequential order. Now, what we're looking for here is basically two main things. We want to see the weekly BX trender increasing over a constant value of 0 or turning green. So when the BX trender is green, we want to enter. When the BX trender turns red, we want to exit. And ideally, we want the monthly BX trender, which is the one below it, showing the same thing. We want to see monthly and weekly buying pressure coming in at the same exact time, because the only thing that is going to move a stock higher is that if whales, people who can actually move the market, step in and overpay for the stock. That's the only way the stock is going to move. Now, if we take a look at this chart here, you're going to see that the week of May 5th, 2025, we ended up getting a close over a constant value of 0. So we would have opened on the prior week. I'm sorry, the first week was April 28th. So we would have opened this position on May 5th. That's when we get our first requirement to go long. And as soon as that happened, we saw like a pretty big push, about 28%. And now a lot of people will say, if you were up 28%, why wouldn't you just close the position? And the truth is, because we're not looking to make a small return of like 28%. What we really want in order to be profitable long-term is massive risk versus reward. We want a small amount of risk for massive upside. So even though I could have pulled a 28% profit, nobody knew that price was going to reject there. We could have seen price push right through that level and move all the way up to $450. And I will promise you that short term, even though it sucks to basically give back most of the profits that we've had on Tesla in the past couple of months, I would rather give those profits back now than miss out on a 50, 60, maybe even a 100% move where I could have made upwards of $500,000 to $600,000 because that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for small wins here and there. I'm looking for that massive parabolic breakout, much like what we saw back in October 2024 to January 2025. Now, since then, price action has rejected here. And you can see that from a pure pattern standpoint, which I have drawn out here with these lines, that when price is making lower highs and higher lows, we have what's called a symmetrical triangle or a symmetrical wedge. This is normally an indication of a continuation pattern. Now, a prime example of this would actually be this massive continuation pattern that we had through 2021 all the way up until recent in 2024. When a continuation pattern happens, and I'll draw one out really quickly for you, we will normally have price breakout. Price will sell off to make a higher low, so we don't take that previous low out. Price will bounce, not take out the previous high, but instead make a lower high. Price will pull back to make a higher low, so we won't take out that low. Price will make a lower high, so on and so forth. And as that is happening, that is basically an indecision pattern, right? I want you to think of patterns in the market as market psychology. The fact that we're not taking out recent highs and the fact that we're not taking out recent lows means that the collective psychology of people who can actually move the market are not decided on what is going to happen. When this occurs, it is normally a continuation. So that means that if before this pattern happened, we were in a massive breakout, then we will probably end up breaking out from the pattern. However, if the inverse is true and price was selling off prior to that, then that normally means that price action is going to sell off out of that pattern. Now, patterns alone are not a way to just trade. What I like to do is use patterns, market psychology, and then bring in buy-sell pressure to get an understanding of when that pattern could actually start to break out. For instance, if we take a look at this symmetrical triangle that happened through 2023 into 2024, one of the main things I want you to look at is the monthly BX trender all the way at the bottom of your screen. You will notice that during this entirety of 2021 and 2022, this BX trender was red, which means that there really was no reason for us to be focusing on buying. We had a good pop in 2023. This we would have tried to chase. We would have made a good 15% return, then lost 8.7%. So of course, you're never going to time things to perfection. That's not necessarily your goal. Then if you guys go back into the summer of last year, this is basically when I really started trading Tesla publicly. This is where I started to get a big following from you guys because a lot of people were following this breakout. And something that you will notice is we're getting to the head of this pattern. Now, I want you to think of any type of pattern like this where we're getting a squeeze as a pimple. As disgusting as it is, it's the easiest way to think about this. The top trend line is one finger, the bottom trend line is the second finger. What they're doing is squeezing the pimple as hard as they possibly can, and then this area, which a lot of people will call the apex or basically the head of this squeeze, is going to be the pus or basically the whitehead. All of that squeeze has to be released in one direction. In this case, we were expecting it to be to the upside because the weekly BX trender was showing buying pressure. We get this initial pop, and then the monthly BX trender follows suit. And then history repeats itself, price breaks out pretty aggressively. Now at this point, the same type of setup is basically happening. And of course, it does not mean that it has to occur in the same exact way, but it's looking like that's what's going to happen. Price most likely is going to reject here. If that ends up happening, then my thought process is that we would most likely pull our way down, worst case, to $240 to $250. That would flip the weekly BX trender red, which is not what we want to see. And unfortunately, the monthly BX trender right now is already red. This right now, in my opinion, is showing that even though our criteria is met, I'm still going to hold my 2026 calls, even though I think we're rejecting here, is that we just don't have enough buying pressure at this point to actually break out to all-time highs. My hope was that the break to all-time highs was going to happen sooner rather than later, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. I have no control over the market, and if buyers are not going to enter, then we are just not going to move. So in my thoughts, worst case scenario here, price will pull back down to 240, 250, and then we're going to have to hope that buyers will step in. We will monitor the weekly BX trender to see if they do. If that happens, price will most likely bounce again. We could continue to squeeze maybe into September. and then have another one of those late year rallies, much like we did October and November, up to $450 to $500. Now, many of you might ask that if I think this is going to reject here, then why am I still playing calls on Tesla for 2026? And that is simply because my requirements are met. What I think and what I feel does not matter when I'm trading. Everything that I do is purely mechanical. And the reason for this is that mechanical trading is something that I can commit to and that I can execute each and every single day long term. I'm not focused on buying at the perfect bottom, and I'm not focused at selling perfectly at the top. I understand that I might be able to do that from time to time, but if I want to seriously take my entire net worth and build off of that, I need to have a true mechanical system and not go off of what I think and feel. And the main reason for this is because when we hit a losing streak, which we will, we need to be able to rely on the data and our past mechanical trading, because if not, we could be laying awake at night wondering if what we are actually doing truly works. And I feel that that's what most people do. Unfortunately, they focus a lot of the time on just doing what they feel is right, but that's only going to get you so far. Like I said in the beginning, if you want to learn my mechanical strategy, go ahead and check out all of our courses. They're completely free. Link is in the description. As far as Tesla, if we bounce, awesome. I still have my 2026 calls and I'll continue to trade this. If we don't, then worst case, I think 240 is in the works, maybe 250, and I'll get to load up down there. I know for a lot of you, you might feel deflated in the fact that I'm saying that this move up to $500, which I was hoping was going to happen sooner than later, is not going to happen. But I promise you guys that if you want to do this long term, this is just part of the game. Losing comes with winning. And the faster that you can learn to sit with it, understand that it sucks, but realize you're playing the long game, not only the more money will you make, but the less stressed you will be during the entire process. As always, guys, thanks for all of your support. I hope you have a great day. Comment down below what you think is going to happen with Tesla, and I'll see you next time.